The Health Connect segment is brought to you by Medavie. Life lived fully.
It's almost 7:47, and did you know your gut health can influence everything from digestion and immunity to energy, mood, and even hormonal balance? It's one of the most important systems in the body, yet most of us never have it assessed by a medical professional. Today, we're looking at a new approach that's making science-based gut support more accessible for Canadians. Our partners at Medavie and Medavie Blue Cross have become the first insurer in Canada to cover a comprehensive gut health program, combining expert guidance from registered dietitians with professional-grade microbiome testing. So what does that mean for your health? Catherine Bierman is here with us from Medavie to help us find out. Good morning, Catherine.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to have you in, first time 2026.
Yep.
So let's talk about gut health. How important is gut health?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, it impacts everything from your digestion, your immunity, your energy levels, even your mood. So not a lot of people know that about 90% of the serotonin you have and 50% of the dopamine is produced in your gut. And those are what people call the feel-good hormones that significantly impact your mood. So if your gut is not working well, then that's going to impact your mental well-being and a lot of your other systems, as you mentioned.
Interesting. And then microbiome testing. So what can we learn from our microbiome?
Yeah, so really there's a balance that needs to happen in your gut. So there's what they call, some people just call it good bacteria and bad bacteria, but you need the balance of both. So when things get out of balance is when things start to, start impacting your health in negative ways. And it's not the kind of thing that you can easily tell from looking at somebody necessarily or just doing a blood test. And so it's something that people haven't always had access to. Testing was often done only in a clinical setting, and it wasn't easily accessible for people who just wanted to maintain everyday good health.
Yeah, so Medavie is the first insurer in Canada to cover this. Why was it important to take this step?
I think it was important because we've really been focusing a lot on prevention, health prevention, and we think that health prevention should be as accessible as treatment. And as I mentioned, it hasn't always been, it was clinical settings, et cetera. And so even though we had, there are programs and tests out there, because of the financial cost, it also wasn't accessible for people sometimes. So by making it part of a benefit plan, that can really help people with the cost and allow them to take those preventative health options early before they start having issues.
So before we get into the nuts and bolts of how it works, I think it's really cool that it's a Newfoundland and Labrador company that's going to be partnering with you on this. Tell us a little bit more about why it was important to do that.
Yeah, so we didn't go out searching, obviously, for a Newfoundland company. When we have a new product, we're looking for the best provider within Canada for our members, and the fact that this company was in Newfoundland was, a bit of a happy accident, but we're super excited to be supporting, Atlantic innovation. That's of course where our home is from, and so they've been a great partner. We're really looking forward to seeing how this rolls out over the next few years.
For sure. Okay, and really quickly before we go, how would members access the program? Yeah,
so they can go on the Medavie Blue Cross app, and they can go into a platform called Connected Care, which is right on the app, and look under gut health.
Wonderful. That doesn't sound very difficult at all. All right. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.